analysis now on the death of the Thai king and, importantly, its political ramifications.
Dr. John Blaxland is a senior fellow at ANU's Strategic and Defence Studies Centre and an expert on Australian-Thai relations, and he joins us now from Canberra. John Blaxland, good to talk to you again. Good morning.
Thanks, Virginia, for having me on your program.
King Bhumiphol was always described and is still described this morning as a unifying figure in Thailand, although those of us watching from the outside haven't seen much unity. How do we actually account for that?
Well, the question of unity is a very big one, and it actually speaks to the problems we face in Thailand and the whole question about how the transition, the royal transition, is being managed. And of course, King Bhumipol really has been a revered figure. There is some controversy around the margins about his actions and who he supported along the way. But, the sense of grief is palpable in Thailand today. This is not manufactured. This is not put on. This is something that we in Australia actually struggle culturally to kind of relate to, because we don't have the same relationship with the British monarchy as the Thais do with their own head of their own king and their own royal family. And so what we're seeing is very much a demonstration of the fact that he does play a unique national role that does sit above, in one sense, the politics of the yellow versus red dimension. But there is a real remaining split in the country that is not completely resolved yet, and not likely to be resolved anytime soon.
Well, talk to us about that role, what that role realistically actually has been in the face and the reality of all this unrest in Thailand, and can that role, if it's been useful, can that now just transfer to the successor?
Well, that's a good question. General Prayut, Prime Minister Prayut, has made it very clear, and he made this pretty shortly after the announcement of the King's passing, that the Crown Prince Maha Vajiralongkorn is the designated successor, and the National Legislative Assembly will announce that formally in due course. So I don't think there's any question about that happening. And the question about whether his sister, Princess Sirindorn, who has been a very popular figure because she's been very actively engaged in the community supporting her father, there's not really any debate anymore about whether she's in contention. So the Crown Prince is definitely the designated successor. It's a matter of time now before that is formalised. So that is a matter of course. Domestically in the politics, this is another matter entirely. And this is one of the reasons why I think when we look back at what happened in May 2014, when General Prayut removed Yingluck Shinawatra from being the Prime Minister of Thailand, is a real concern about how polarised Thai society is.
Yes.
And it's interesting, to put it in the context of the region. Thailand is, you look at it and you think, dang, it's a really prosperous country. This is a country that a generation ago looked not that dissimilar to Cambodia or Myanmar, and yet today is, it's a vibrant economy. It's got remarkable development. It's got a remarkable attractiveness to investors and to tourists. And so when we think about what's at stake, what the politics are, the stakes have got higher because the game is much more about the very high stakes.
Yes, John Blaxland, sorry to jump in. We'll actually we're running short of time, so we might have to leave it there. But thanks for joining us this morning, and thanks for clarifying some of the political issues. John Blaxland there from the ANU. On a personal level, I'll simply look forward to the spectacle of the crowning, which will be something you've never seen.
It'll be awesome, won't it?
Oh, I mean, they do spectacle, amazingly well. But, they haven't had, because he's been on the throne for so long, they haven't had one for many, many years. Something to watch on TV.
Processions here, gilded that,
oh, yes, gilded this. Everything.